Hey Conquerors, welcome to my channel. It's your girl IConquer. So I just want to come on here and talk about a few different ways to make some extra money. I know it's been a while since I last did this. Your girl has a lot of stuff going on right now. So, but I haven't forgotten you guys. I've just been working a lot and, got some businesses rolling in, and so it's just taking a lot of my time. So this video is basically going to be about healthcare. A lot of you don't really know my background, but my background is in healthcare. I am an LPN, but I used to be a CNA. I worked as a medical assistant. I've done a lot of different things in the healthcare sector. So healthcare is my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite side hustle. And especially right now, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I know a lot of nurses and healthcare workers who are laid off and unable to work due to the COVID situation. So I just want to shed some light about different jobs that are available right now in the workplace. So we can talk about one that I have read up on. It's called a contact tracer. So basically what a contact tracer does, you will be contacting positive COVID patients. You'll be talking to them about their next steps, letting them know they are positive, and any signs and symptoms that they may be feeling, etc., so they can pass on that knowledge. So that's basically what you would be doing all day. So you will have to have a computer, you will have to have the internet service, and a cell phone. Some of the companies will send you all of that. They will send you a computer, they will send you anything they need you to work with as far as the technology. You do have to have a cell phone of your own though. They have another step up for that, was a contact investigator. So that one is actually in the field, and you'll be contacting the patients that are positive, and you will talk to them about who have they been around. Because that's really the data that the government is getting is from the contact tracers and contact investigators. So they are the one who are tracing all the positive patients as well as of anyone else that they have been actually in contact with. So it's really an important job. They do pay pretty well. You do have to have an LPN license, and you do have to have a multi-state license. So that is something that you would have to apply for. I'm in the state of Florida, so I do have a multi-state license. It's a whole nother application outside of your LPN or RN license. So you do have to actually apply for that license and pay for it. It's just an application, and it's really just paying for it, really. There's no other criteria besides being an LPN or RN, because you do have to have those credentials prior to you getting the job. But they do pay about $30 to $33 an hour. I think the lowest that I've seen, depending on your state, is about 17. I know I can only speak for Florida and some of the things that I've seen on Indeed. I might just show a clip on here so you can see what I'm talking about as far as the pay scale, because it varies out of my state. So, but for Florida, what I have seen is between $27 to $33 an hour for that job. And that's contact tracer / contact investigator. And then they also have supervisor positions for the contact tracing program as well. So that is a good hustle, and it's all work from home, mind you. I don't think I mentioned that, but it's all work from home. The contact tracer is 100% work from home. All you're doing is making phone calls. So that is what I was looking for, and so that really, I reached out about that. So another job that I really like is to become a case manager. So a lot of insurance companies have case management working for them, but a lot of home care agencies right now are hiring for chronic case management positions or chronic care management positions. Another word for it is telephonic case manager. Now, a lot of these jobs are 100% work from home, and it's all phone call based. Now, there's a difference between a case manager, which generally you would have to be an RN for. So you would have to have your RN license for that. I guess it varies depending on your state, but I know in Florida you have to have an RN license for that. They do have LPN case managers. I know some insurance companies will hire you as an LPN to work as a case manager, but generally they do, more of the jobs are available as an RN if you have an RN license. It's telephonic, it's work from home if you have those licenses, and they do want you to have some kind of clinical background. So if you've never worked on the floor, it's kind of hard to be a case manager because you don't understand how the healthcare system works yet. So they do ask you for some kind of experience. Let's see. Yeah, so if you're an RN, they want 3 to 5 years of clinical practice and experience, and they do want an RN, but like I said, there are LPNs who work as a case manager for some insurance companies. So I would try to, and I'm gonna send in those links for some of the jobs that I've seen so Humana, Anthem, any of those places, Cats Assist. There's a lot of different companies that hire case manager, LPNs, and RNs too, and a majority, some of them are work from home, especially Humana. Humana has a huge spectrum of work from home jobs. They actually have a whole work at home job list that you can actually look on, a specific list. So if you're looking for a work from home, I would look at Humana Insurance because they actually have they're the only actually insurance company I've found that has a whole specific list for work from home positions outside of nursing. So another one that I really liked was a remote care coach. You can be a remote patient trainer and a remote care coach supervisor. So a remote care coach supervisor is a nurse who manages a team of nurses and care coaches to ensure that the team goals are met, provide ongoing training, analyze reports, manage the team performance, etc., etc. So that position, they do want you to have an RN, be a registered nurse. I have seen some LPN jobs. Like honestly, all these things that I've been saying as just specifically for RN, apply if you're an LPN. I never let RN only, stop me from applying as an LPN. I apply for it anyway because you never know. They may be willing to train you as an LPN to do the job if you have a lot of the background or experience that they're looking for. So if it says RN, don't let that deter you. Apply as an LPN anyway, and just tailor your resume to that job. So I've seen a lot of these as well. Become a remote patient trainer. That is really huge right now because they're trying to not let patients go back into the hospital. So especially for Medicare. Medicare is paying these primary care doctors' offices. They're paying like telehealth work. We'll get into that next too as well. They're paying these due to COVID. COVID has started a whole thing. They do not want patients to go into the hospital that don't need to be there because they're impeding on the patients that are critical, especially due to the COVID, and that need to be seen. So if you have chronic diseases, COPD, diabetes, hypertension, things that will never go away, that they're saying should be basically taken care of at the doctor's office level or the walk-in center level. They should not be, or asthma, getting into the emergency or having a exasperation. What are the barriers? What do we need to do if someone's checking on them? I'm not just talking about home care, but making phone calls. So, me, like I said, I'm trying to be work from home only, location independent. These are the type of things that I'm looking for because my priority right now is to run my businesses and to be home with my daughter and to homeschool her and be able to move how I want to, not at the mercy of a job. So if you really are interested in these type of things and you have the background, the nursing background, LPN, I don't know if I've seen any CNAs. Again, it depends on your state. Florida, I can only speak for Florida because that's the only one I know. I don't know about Connecticut. I am from Connecticut, but primarily for Florida, you have to have an LPN or RN license. But again, so those jobs were remote care coach supervisor, remote care coach, And I saw the remote care coach, if you have some kind of healthcare background, for the care coach, because it's not, they would like for you to be an LPN or RN, but you don't have to be as far as the care coach, just based off the fact that you understand the medical system. Some companies are willing to hire you based off of that. And the other job was the remote patient trainer. Let me see. Another big one is a utilization review nurse. I really like this one too as well, because this one is huge. This is just basically how, so a UR nurse, they help patients make informed decisions regarding their care, while at the same time, they're helping the hospital in delivering only necessary procedures. So they're trying to get you out of the hospital as fast as they can, basically. And sometimes they work for the insurance companies, but you'll also have UR nurses that work for the hospital. So, you know, their aim is to get what you need done, to determine the level of care and eligibility for your services. So a lot of these, I'm reading the wrong thing. This is another work from home job. The utilization review nurse is another work from home. Again, they usually either work for the hospital systems, or you can work for an insurance agency as a work from home job. I really like this job. So if you're an RN, I would apply. If you're an LPN, I would apply, because a lot of these jobs are work from home. Again, there are tons of them. Humana, like I said, Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, just to name a few other insurance companies. Let's see. So another way too is online tutorials. So there's a lot of people who are in nursing school or trying to pass their exam. So I've been through a coaching. I'm actually in one right now to get my RN exam, to pass my RN. So there's a lot of people who are looking for someone to show them to understand the content material. Maybe it's been a while and they haven't, it's like a refresher course. So you have a lot of nurses who have RN, MSN, BSN backgrounds, or not even just ASN, having tutorials, have their own basically school online. And they would just send you the curriculum and you would just do Zoom with them and take the class as a refresher for your RN or LPN program. So this is actually a pretty lucrative way to make some extra money as an RN, because you understand what it takes to pass the boards, right? And as LPN, you understand what it takes to pass the boards, right? So this is a great lucrative way for people to make extra money by teaching others through education. So I really like this, because especially now with technology, it's so easy for you to just create a video one time on Skillshare, even on YouTube, and create the basic information and the applications and the tutorials one time. And, as soon as they pay the fee, and I'm telling you, for the refresher course, you could be paying $650 for the refresher course for RN program, or a refresher course, or just a course to, prior to even taking the exam, showing you how to pass the exam. You can be out $1,000 depending on the teacher and their branding and their notoriety in the community. So, I mean, you could definitely make a killing on this. My teacher right now, she charges $650 per person. And right now she has 10 people in a class, and we're all wearing masks and stuff like that. And then she also has another 5 on Zoom. So just imagine how much money you could be making. I mean, it's no frills, it's straight to the point, because we're all there for one thing and one thing only. We're trying to pass this exam. So, why not? Another way to make some extra money is if you're already RN and you have a wound care certification, you can become a wound care consultant. You can just be specifically online. You can look at people's wounds, you know, start a whole business where you just, you know, a telehealth business or something like that. Or you can teach people, again, how to do wound care. That's other very lucrative. How to pass the wound care certification, you know, that's another thing. But you can, same way as the telehealth is so huge, where, you know, the doctor's just viewing your wound or whatever it is on camera. You can be a wound care nurse consultant, and you can just view the wound or whatever it is that the patient's calling about, you know, via camera, and that's all you would do, and just charge a nominal fee for it. So as a consultant. Another big work from home position right now is triaging. So again, these majority of these jobs require you to have some kind of credentialing. So you will have to have a license, you will have to have your CPR, you will have to have your RN license. So they have, triaging is huge. And I know some LPNs positions who have for triaging as well as RN. So if you're RN and you're looking to work from home, because a lot of these are work from home positions as a triage nurse, again, it's telephonic. So people would just call in, and if you have a multi-state license, you would be working, you know, in Arizona or something like that, in their time zone, you know, out of Florida. So again, if you're like me and you're looking for work from home positions, this is perfect for you to do. And I'll try to find these positions on Indeed, and you can see how much they're paying. Some of them are paying, a lot of these jobs are paying really well. It kind of shocked me compared to as a nurse. You know, I've been on the floor for how many years, and, you know, I've struggled to get this type of money, and here I am finding these jobs, and it's like, what? You're paying how much for me to work from home? Okay. You know, granted, it's not going to be a cakewalk. You're still going to have a lot of things that you need to do, and you still need to be tech savvy to do these jobs, because you need to have a computer as well as learn their software. So, I mean, it's still going to be hard, but you're going to be from home. You know, some of them are hourly, some of them are salary, you know, so you got to keep all of that in mind too. Let's see. I'm specifically looking for things that you can work from home, especially right now. You know, a lot of people cannot go outside of their home to do certain things. So, okay, here we go. Start a blog. So medical blogging is huge right now. There's a lot of nurses, a lot of doctors that have started their own blogs, talking about the nursing industry. You know, if you're just talking about credentialing, maybe some story times, you know, of you as a nurse. Let's see, what you learned in school, what you learned on the job. You know, you can ask people, because a lot of people don't understand nursing, or, you know, depending on your background, MD, they want to know, you know, should I go into this role? What is it really like? You know, and you can give that reference point for them. So starting a blog can be a lucrative way, or a YouTube channel as a nurse, MD, you know, NP, you know, and talk about the whole journey getting to that point. So that's a good way to make some extra money. Granted, you know, a blog is not going to be making that now money, which you know that I'm about, but it's long term. You know, you can make that money long term. So let's see. So like I was talking before about telehealth. So telehealth is huge, and there's tons of work from home positions, working for a telehealth company, answering the phone lines or triaging, like I was talking to you about previously. And so you'll just basically communicating with patients via live audio or video over the phone, or even a webcam. This is something you can start from home, and remote health monitoring services. So you'll be monitoring their vital signs, you know, check the severity of injuries when you counsel them through video calls. You can also start up your own telehealth nursing business from home. I didn't even see that. You know, and yeah, some of them start off about $70,000, you know, right off the bat. So LPN or RN, because well, it depends on your state. So I would, again, this is not Bible. I can only talk about RN. Majority of the jobs that I've seen for the telehealth nurse is RN. Some of them are LPNs too. So again, it goes vary state by state because everyone has their different rules. So, but there can be something lucrative that you can definitely do. Let me see. Okay, and this is the last one that I'm going to talk about is getting into IT. So IT is huge, especially in nursing right now. Even if you don't have an Epic certification, that's just basically the software that a lot of hospitals use right now for documentation and medication administration. If you are just into technology, you love computers, that is a huge field to get into. I know a lot of doctors and nurses who have never seen the bedside and went straight into IT. So, and they are always looking for nurses for IT, information technology, to get EPIC certified. Generally, you would go through the hospital that you're working for to get certified because you can't get certified directly through EPIC. They're not going to allow you to. You would have to go through a hospital system so that they can send you to EPIC or whatever tech program that you use at your system to be certified. So, but I mean, it's extremely lucrative. You can start off with $90,000 a year and higher just based off of IT. And sometimes that can just be entry level, you just getting in. Because you got to think about it. Who uses this, who's on the floor? Who understands the whole workflow? Nurses. Doctors are not always in the hospital. Well, they're in the hospital, but not like the majority of the work is done through, nurses. So they want the nurses platforms, medication administration, how to input medication into the system, documentation for nurses. So you would be giving EPIC that input. Same thing with doctors. If they would want the doctor's input on how their documentation is supposed to be done, and their charting systems, because everything is, each level is different. And same thing goes for the business side. So again, that is a very lucrative field to get into, is IT. And I know a lot of people who have gone directly into that field and are making pretty good money. And it's still a form of advocacy because you are advocating on behalf of your coworkers who are using the system and, could benefit from the new things that you have helped implement on the, while on the floor. I didn't talk about one that I wanted to get into, is legal nurse consultant. That is actually a big field too. You can work for a lot of lawyers' offices. I know a few people who do this and make pretty good money working for a lawyer's office on their legal healthcare cases. So you would go over everything to do with that healthcare case, the documentation, and you nurses, if the document, if it wasn't written down, it wasn't done, right? So you have a lot of nurses who work for lawyers' offices doing legal cases in healthcare, and some doctors as well. And it can be very lucrative. May not be starting off, but as you go down the line and you learn and maybe get certified, you can make a lot of money. So I wanted to make this quick. I didn't mean to ramble on for so long, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to give you guys some ideas. Unfortunately, this does require experience. This does require degrees and credentials and certifications and licenses. But for all you nurses out there that cannot work on the floor right now due to COVID, these are some viable options that I wanted to get out there. And I will try to find the Indeed jobs that I've found that can show you guys what I'm talking about as far as like the pay grade and the type of jobs that are out there, which are a lot, especially remote right now. COVID has drastically changed the healthcare system, and it's going to continue to change the healthcare system as we continue to go on right now and be primarily remote for some non-essential workers. So, and I know people right now are hurting. We got like how many millions of people who are unemployed, and doctors or nurses too. So, all right, guys, I'm just gonna stop talking. I'll talk to you later. IConquer. Hey guys, so as promised, I just wanted to show you some of the jobs that I had looked for on Indeed, and what you can look for on here. Indeed is my favorite job search tool. I used to use Monster back in the day and a multitude of others, but Indeed pulls from all of them. And to me, they have the most comprehensive list of jobs available. So especially if you look on it on a consistent basis. So I'm always on Indeed. And that's my favorite. This is not an ad that's sponsored for Indeed. I just love Indeed because it's so easy to use and you pretty much can type in anything. Kind of like the Google for job search, to me anyway. So these are some of the jobs that I look for. And as you can see, this is what I type in to some of the jobs that I spoke about in this video. So if you want, you can do the same type of searches and look for these jobs here, and they're available. And you can filter them out to how much you want to be paid as well, which I do, and go from there. All right, guys, so I just wanted to show you that, and I'll talk to you later. So guys, I'm gonna end this with this quote here. What is this chapter of your life called? You know, this channel is all about positivity and, you know, nothing negative. Like, what are you going to do to get yourself where you want to be? The world is crazy right now. You know, millions of people are unemployed. But what are you going to do to change that for you and your family? I keep saying in a lot of my videos, if you don't want to make any money in this country, you will not make any money in this country. With the internet, there are thousands of different ways that you can make money. Even if you don't have a car, even if you don't have any money to start. Like I said, you can do Dasher, you can do all these different ways to make extra money with a bike you can deliver food with. If you're not willing to do the things that most other people won't do, you will not create that extra income for yourself and your family. And I say that as just to motivate you guys, you know. I've lost jobs, I've been fired before, but I never let that stop me because I know what type of person that I am. Know what type of person you are. Are you willing to sacrifice everything to get what it is that you need and your family needs, even if it's not about yourself? Think about if you have children, your responsibilities. All right? So I just want to know, what is this chapter of your life called? And what is it that you are willing to do to get yourself to that starting point? What is it that you, even if it's just a mindset, what are you going to do consistently? If it's read a book a day, you know, I'm going to walk this pavement every day and call up every store, you know, are you hiring? Are you doing this? Be consistent. The universe loves consistency. Anything you do consistently, even if it's negative, that is what you're going to do. So if you're drinking every day, you are telling the universe this is what you want out of your life. You know the consequences of that. So if you're doing something positive in your life and you're consistent with it, the universe is going to find a way for you to get what it is that you need. I know of paraplegics who have their own businesses working from home, because they can use a computer or they have software. I don't know how they do it. I don't know the exact setup. So if they can do it, there's no excuse if you have all your limbs and you can talk. You're able to use your voice. You're able to get to a computer, even if it's for the library, you don't have internet. You're able to go to Starbucks and use their internet. I've done it numerous times. when I didn't have internet. So there's no, for me, and it should be for you as well, there are no mountains that cannot be moved. There's always a way to go around things. If you're willing to find a way, there is going to be a way. Someone will help you. A closed mouth will not be fed. So tell people. Tell everybody. There's no shame, right? You're trying to get ahead and you're at a low point. Who cares? I'm at a low point. I need help. And people will gather around you. Anyway, I had to say that last point, because I know there's a lot of negativity in this world right now. So I just had to put that out here, and hopefully it can motivate somebody. Someone will listen to this, because I listened to someone else who motivated me. So I need to reciprocate that process and put myself out there and just talk. So let me know in the comments, what is this chapter of your life called? Let's chat. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. IConquer.